had a very fit 82-year-old Wes. And Wes, a lot of things look bad on the swing. He had a 46-mile-an-hour exit speed. Hips are bad. And on the upper body, you never get the hands back connected. Hands change direction about 3 times. The knob comes down. The lead arm is buckled, doesn't drive and snap. And you change positions 2 or 3 times. They're just very ineffective. You didn't hardly hit any balls that were past 160 or 70. I think 180 was your tops. And every swing kind of looks the same. There's not a drive and a snap. And about 3 years ago, you said you'd hit quite a bit better. You'd lost some of your power. And anyhow, just look and see the hips aren't into it. You're not driving. You're not snapping off that hip drive. So we had a lot of work to do. A wind here at the start, and look how weak the snap is. The ball bounces off, or the bat rather bounces off the ball. Watch, there's no drive. You hit it, there's no snap of the wrist to drive the bat by, and you just glance down. You're not driving through it. So couldn't have more humble beginnings than that, but there's always hope with technique. And so the first day we struggled a little bit on the drills. Look at here, there's no extension and snap. You just kind of turn to the inside. You aren't even looking at where you're driving the ball. It really lost your focus. I wanted you to drive the hands forward to create a lag before we did the snap. And down here, watch how your arms, even though they're extending way out, the top arm never extends and snaps past. So we need a lot of work on that wrist snap. You watch Andrew Collins, look at here. Rotation drives the hands and you snap all in one motion from the start. Again, here's the end of day one again. Swings all over the place. Just really hard to hit the ball square, but watch how good you improved your hips on day one. Look at that drive you're getting. That's exceptional. So we walked out of the day one. Day two, we said we're going to spend all our time working on drive and snap. Look at that. The swing simulator is just perfect for that. Drive and snap. As soon as you start the rotation, you drive the hands forward. Your mental focus is aiming at the bottom of the ball, and you want to drive the hands and snap the wrist together. It takes a while for the wrist snap to catch up. One thing you'll always see in your swing here is because that lead arm is pinned so tight, Wes, that we're going to notice that you got to really drive that lead arm. Otherwise, you're going to get a hesitation, and then it's going to come up, and then you're going to have almost a 2-part swing. So working on the stab here, which we wanted to make sure we didn't drift ahead. And when we went down the stab, say you kind of drift ahead, you want to really make sure you're rotating stab. When you went to the perfect snap, much crisper. Look at it, your palm down and palm up. You want to make sure that lead wrist doesn't turn over, because if that lead wrist turns over and you don't hammer that left wrist sideways on the snap, it's going to roll. That's really good. Again, look at here. Look how much improvement that is on day number 2 here on the drive and snap. You look like a totally different dude. So again, we go back here again, drive and snap. It's got to be straight line, and you got to explode. You know, being 82, you kind of forgot what it was like to be explosive. So we use the guide rope here to drive and snap, the perfect snap over the top. But you'll notice you aren't getting the hips to drive. See that? You know, we worked off the tee. So the one thing you got to do on these drills, you got to drive the hips. Hips have to drive that drive and snap of the hands. And but you're doing a good job of taking the knob to the part of the ball you want to attack, knob and then the hands. Watch it from behind. Use a heavy little short jimmer stick just to get you snapping through. And then when you choke up on the bat, look at that. You can get nice crisp hits. There's a drive and a snap, except for, again, we want to have our hips drive this. Hips get a little bit of a pop, so we get the feeling the hips are driving this. The lower body rotation is driving this. But vastly, vastly improved. You had a little wind you added to it. And here's a ball that's hit on the top half, but good. You're aiming at the bottom. And here's a heavy 14-inch ball. Look how you drive that backside. I think your bread and butter is going to be going backside. That's what the poor fielders are. That's what the open areas are. Look at that. That's absolutely beautiful, Weston. Just in a remarkable turnaround. So again, we go off the tee here, and look at your hands are driving down. There's not the hesitation. It's a straight line A to B. That means the hands where they start to where they finish on a straight line. You got to really work on driving it. So you'll get good off the tee, and then you're going to find you aren't going to be quite as good live. See the hands come up a little bit, and then they come down. There's always that tendency. There's a little bit of a bow in the top of that swing. So we just kept working on driving and snapping off the rear hip. And your hips on the drilling weren't that great, but as we got into live hitting, they're better. Here's outside, and already, compared to what you were, it's just remarkable. There's just one of the bombs you hit. You hit 5 balls, 270 plus, and that was into a good wind. And when you started here, you're hitting the ball 160 or 70. Is it perfect? No. You can have a straighter line swing. You go back to the perfect snap off the rotation, and you see you're rolling the lead wrist down, so we had to work on keeping that in an X-style manner. Very good there. But it's not perfect, but you're in one session, you're well on your way to getting a good drive and snap. And that's going to be your focus, and that's probably what went down. There's a ball he just absolutely ripped. Again, perfect snap right there over and over and over. Fantastic. And so look at the last few here. You had the higher balls, you couldn't hit them at all before you're driving them. And a little bit of a hesitation that lead arm. You just got to make sure that lead arm drives as much. But watch the hip rotation here. I mean, if you look at your lower body, you look like you're a 45-year-old guy. That's absolutely phenomenal. I'm jealous, Wes. I'm jealous. So appreciated the effort, and let's take a look here at some of the final swings, and phenomenal. Nice ball.
That's what I used to do.
Nice job. Arm off the floor. Yeah. Keep your upper body back. You want to angle up, but you hang on to it. You should be here. Okay. You should be here with the arm. That's where you should be, not here. You see that? Here you start to go down like this. Okay. That lead wrist rolls over. It's going to roll you over and down. So that's going to, you got to make sure when you drive it that you drive and snap X style, because then you can get into the ball, through the ball, and you finish up there. You follow me? Good ball.
I'll be 82 next Thursday, and I weigh 175 pounds.
And you came in here with an exit speed at 46 or 47, a really mechanically flawed swing, but just a tremendous turnaround in the cage today when we decide, hey, we're going to work only on drive and snap, okay? Work on driving the X snap and driving the knob to the bottom of the ball. Wes, what mentally are you thinking about on the live pitching?
Looking at the bottom of the ball and drive and snap.
All you young fellas out there looking for love, get yourself a new DeMarini instead. It's better looking, it's more dependable, and a hell of a lot easier to find the sweet spot.